I didn't do video for a while, and it's time to do some. And before I forget it, um, today I want to talk about something about Cuba. All right, in Christmas time, I went to Cuba for a week, and so just want to share something interesting in Cuba with all you guys before I forget it. First things is the very exciting fishing. All right, so we didn't go bow fishing, we just go saw fishing. I did some preparation, but when I go there and then want to get the fishing rod, I have a reel and lure and line and everything, but the fishing rod is for travel, it's not easy to carry, and then I want to get one from there, but unfortunately I didn't get anything. And then I can use my brother-in-law, and then he got two. It's a very big one. It's a long, like a 10 feet, and heavy, but we can still use it. I compare the local people and the local Cuban people. Then they use the big reel, the lines on there. They don't use the reel, and they don't use the rod, right? So they only use the big things, and then the lines on that, and then just throw it out and bring it back. Mostly they're using the live bait. It's kind of like nasty. I don't like it. I like to use the artificial lure, right? So the most exciting moment is when I saw there is some movement over there, and then cast toward there. Right away I got a bite, and then so I reeled it in, and then all of a sudden, I feel it's much heavier than before. I think, oh my God, I got a big fish. And then I reeled it in. It's about 10 feet away from me. I saw there is a big fish, make a blast, and then run away. Oh my God, I lost the fish. And then I felt bad at the moment. I said, hey, still something at the hook. I reeled it in. It's a barracuda. It's not that big. It's about this size. But when I look at it carefully, the tail is missing. Oh my God, that's the whole story is like that. I realized and then when I cast it, the fish, he bite, and then on the way I reeled it in, there is another bigger fish that, grab his tail, and then, and run away. So that means the fish I got had no tail. All right, so it's only like, the fish original this big, and then when I get it, it's only this size. The tail is missing. All right, so this is the most exciting moment. By the time there's many people fishing there, right, and they're all exciting, right? So because barracuda, it's a very good game fishing, right? Okay, so this is the fishing, and other than that, there's not much things we can talk about it. And then the local people, they are not used to use the rod and reel. They only use the big wheel, and the lines on that, and then that's how they fish. They use the live bait, worm and then shrimp, or some of the live minnow, or the bait fish. Anyway, yeah, that's the fishing. Yeah, when you go to Cuba, if you like to drink, it's a good place to go because you don't need to pay for it. We booked the hotel. It's all inclusive, right? All inclusive. The good things is, you have a buffet, whatever you want to eat, and how much you want to eat. No extra charge. The only thing you need to do is to pay for sometimes, your tips for the waiter. That's it. Yeah. The other good things for those people that you like to drink, and it's no extra charge. You just need to ask for that. Beer, rum, whiskey, I think, and then some with the cocktail. Yeah, you can drink as much as you want, and then no extra charge. Somebody tips for the the bartender. That's the only thing you need to pay for. All right. So that means you want to get drunk. That's a good place to go. Yeah, and then the rum is the local, the famous. In Canada, we can buy the Havana. What is it? How to say with the Havana Club. I think this is the one in here. But unfortunately, if you want to buy one in Cuba, it's more expensive for you buy one in Toronto from the liquor store. I don't know why, and then the local people don't know why too. So yeah, that's a business. Yeah, and yeah, you will have a good drink. So if you get used to the vehicle, car, and things here, when you go to Cuba, and then you don't see many new car, right? Because they get sanctioned by the USA, and they don't have much money to buy the up-to-date vehicle, right? And an expensive vehicle, because the foreign currency for them is most, they don't have many, right? They rely on those foreign currency to keep the business going. But yeah. Oh yeah, there is another things. I heard about it. The more than 50% of the GDP is generated by tourism. So that means those are tourists that bring them a big income for the country, right? So I'm talking about it before the pandemic. After pandemic, and then the percentage might change. That's kind of like a big change for them, because of the pandemic, not many tourists, right? So this is the pandemic make them, well, I would say it's the whole country is miserable, right? Yeah, when we go there, it's in the early time when they open it, a lot of tourists coming and then make them happy. Yeah, and when you on the street, you see so many vehicle. It's like back to older than me. It's like 1950, 1940, 1970. Over there, if the vehicle is 20 years old, consider it's pretty new. All right, so we hire a van, drove to Havana for a day trip. That Mercedes-Benz is already very old. I think it's more than 20 years old. And then, but compare the other vehicle on the road, it's still very, yeah, outstanding. Okay, so yeah, for the vehicle, you see so many vehicle you never seen it, and then I'm back to like in 20 and 30 years, you see a small vehicle, 4-door, smaller than I think it's like a Mini Cooper, but the engine is on the rear. All right, it's a 2-cylinder, 2-stroke small engine. I think it's the bicycle. It's like motorcycle engine, but they move. They supply power for the 4-door sedan. It's very small, and then you fit in 4 people in it. It's like a Mini Cooper, right? But this kind of vehicle, you seldom seen it on the road, and even in China, right? And don't mention here. It's very outdated. I don't think they can pass the emission test because it's the 2-stroke, it's like a lawnmower engine. Right? It's many of them. It's not just 1 or 2, right? It's many of them, and you will see a lot of vehicle we seldom see or never seen it here, like and then the car from China, the car from Russia is a Lada. You can see Lada everywhere, and then a lot of different model Lada, and then it's very old. It's a 1970, 1980 model. So that means that vehicle is is like a 30 years old. All right. Yeah, those are American model because before the America sanctioned them since I think it's 1960, the missile crisis, right? Then they start to have a bad relationship with the USA, and then they start to sanction them. Then after that, you don't see many vehicle made by U.S. And then they still keep the old model, and then yeah, it's everywhere. Everywhere you can see, not just convertible, and then you can see some SUV, some van, some truck, very old, and then yeah, when the driver on the road, you can see the smoke coming out from the pipe. Yeah. And then most of the bus, it's made in China, and then yeah, it's the big the touring bus, you can fit 40 people in the bus, is made in China. All right, so this is the vehicle. Of course, you can also see those the moped, the electric bike, and then when I mentioned the moped, it's a 2-stroke, it's like a 50cc, very small engine, and then very loud, and a lot of smoke coming out from the pipe. All right, so yeah, this is something you seldom see here, or even back to China, right? So yeah, this is the vehicle I saw and I take. Okay, the hotel we think we book a high-end hotel. It's a 5-star, but you stay in there, it's every standard. It's much lower than here. You can 5-star. It's just like the motel here. Yeah, and very low standard, right? And yeah, that's Cuba, because they isolate themselves from the world, and Yeah, the food is okay. Yeah, the food is okay, and the service is okay. But you live in the hotel room, and then you expect a 5 star. At least you have a 3 star standard, but not even there. It's like a motel. Yeah, very funny. Yeah, and yeah, we talked to the local guy, and yeah, they make less than $50 when you middle class. It's like a teacher and professor, or even a doctor. They all have a second job, otherwise it's hard to survive. Yeah, and then the $50 per month, just not $50 per hour, right? I'm talking about the monthly income. Yeah, the average people, the labor class, the working class, and much lower than that. Yeah, and then that's their income right now. And that made me think about how much I made when I started work in China, right? And then average we make it like not even $5 a month when I started work. Later on, I make more. It's still less than $50 a month. That's their income right now. Yeah, and with the low income, those local people rely on the government to give them the basic supply, the food, some even the industrial product. Yeah, for example, the government will give them some very cheap, gasoline. They say it's 20 peso for a liter, but there is no supply. You only have a quota, but the gas station don't have gasoline for those. Even you hold a ticket, you don't get the gasoline. You have to go to the black market, underground market to get your gasoline. But the underground market, the gasoline price is like the world market price. It's like 100 peso for 1 liter. Yeah, it's very tough, right? And then I think the same the exchange rate. Yeah, for the exchange rate, $1 can exchange like 80 peso. But in the black market, we call the underground market, and then you can easily exchange double. Yeah, you can exchange 160 peso, and yeah, that's the situation. I think it's the same thing. At least similar things happen in Russia and China, and then yeah, because they need foreign currency, and then it's a very strong, underground market, underground economy. Yeah, this is the average people income. Yeah, we hire a tourist guy for the whole day, and then he said, yeah, you can, if I make $50, it's a big deal for average people. Yeah. Okay, yeah, for those supply, right, the government will, the Cuba government will, since they're very low income, right, they supply their food, their things, but those things you have to line up. Yeah, similarly then like the Russia, right? I mean the Russia, Soviet Union, yeah, because they're communism, right? So Russia is not communism anymore, but similarly, yeah, and Cuba still believe in communism, right? It's a joke, yeah. And then those people line up for their daily supply, like meat and food and vegetable. Yeah, if you want extra, you have to spend more money to go to the free market and black market, underground market to get your food. Yeah, to make you a better life. Yeah, that's you know, it looks like it sounds like the government support their daily living, but on the other hand, the education and the medical care system, I think they are free. They are very good, but they are free, and that's what I know. Yeah, and then there is something similarly, uh, when I experienced back to 1980 and the end of 1970, early 1980, which is if you have a foreign currency, you can go to some special store and restaurant to consume. Right? If you have a current foreign currency, the same like Cuba, those some of the store and hotel and even the tourist area. All right, they only use. The government allowed them to use a U.S. dollar or foreign currency like the Canadian dollar. Yeah, for the tourist. And then out of the area, you have to use peso, and those people, they have trouble. If you give them a U.S. dollar, a big bill, they don't have exchange to you. They give you back peso because they in their daily life, they don't use U.S. dollar. But for the tourists area, for the government control, restaurant, store, and they use foreign currency. Yeah, and then that's why. And Cuba treated tourists, pretty well. If somebody do something back to the tourist, the dictatorship government and the policemen give them hard time, and maybe they put them in jail. And sounds like it's pretty safe for the tourists that compare Mexico, and then it's pretty safe. Those people, they afraid of do bad things to the tourists. Because once they get caught, they will put them in jail. Not like the Mexico. I heard about the story about Mexico. Those police, that with those bad people, they collaborate together to do some bad thing to the tourist, for money. Yeah, that's I think is a difference. Yeah, but they are not 100% honest. Those people they sell, for example, they sell the fruit to local people 5 peso, and then when you see the tourist, they will say, "Oh yeah, this thing cost you 20 peso," something like that. But they don't want to do the, rob the tourist or kidnapping. I think it will not happen, or at least it seldom happen in Cuba, because the dictatorship government, the police is so strong. People are afraid of this. Yeah, because you look at how the people live in Cuba. It's will make me think about back to when I was in China, back to 30-something years ago. Yeah, it's they think they believe in communism. They are in the socialism system. The government looks like it give you everything and control everything. Yeah, there is something very funny, and even they control the cellular phone. Yeah, I heard about it. The Cuba people, they can start to use the cellular phone after the Fidel Castro died, and his brother in power, and then allowed the Cuban use cellular phone. That's back to like I forgot, the year 2015 something. So that means before that, no cellular phone, no internet. Now they have an internet. They have a cellular phone. All right. Yeah, even the quality, the coverage is not that good, but they're still using it. And most of the Cuban people, they're using cellular phone right now. Yeah. And then I think that's why, and those people, they open their eye. They don't want to live under the dictatorship and you know, that kind of government. That's why so many Cuban, they cross the ocean and go to Miami, and you know, go to Florida and go to the USA. Yeah, similarly, like you know, those North Korea people want to, you know, go to South Korea. You know, people live in China, they don't want to live in China, mainland China, they want to out of China, like me. You know, I'm the one open eye earlier and then out of China, you know, 30 something years ago. Yeah. And yeah, and then, but you don't think that those people, they feel bad with their government. You know, you can see the local hero like Che Guevara, and then Fidel Castro's photo everywhere. Looks like the Cuban people, they treat them as a hero. Yeah, it's like back to China. Those a lot of people, most of the people, they treat the government like a hero. All right, Mao Zedong is a hero. Xi Jinping is a hero. Deng Xiaoping is a hero. That's kind of funny, right? All right. Yeah, those people get brainwashed. I don't think they have a choice. Yeah. And then, yeah, Cuban people, you see a lot of a story about those people, you know, they want to live in a better life. They will do the human trafficking, you know, through, you know, yeah. And then this is all, yeah, almost everything I see and experience. And, you know, of course, you know, only few days, I don't know much about it, but that's how I see, how I feel. And then, yeah, I put my comment on that. You know, this is very poor lack of sources, and then people can you know, already brainwash, and you know, looks like you know, not 100% certified, but they still treated Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, you know, those people as a hero. They're proud of it. Okay, so yeah, that's almost everything, and then you know, that's what I think. You know? And if I have more to talk, and then I will do the video again. Okay, see you.